YouTube, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. We are here for today's episode at the Bettor's Edge. We're coming off the back of a monstrous win yesterday, guys, with Dayton plus 5.5 at home. We talked to you guys yesterday about the situation. St. Louis absolutely obliterated the Flyers at home a month or so ago. It was a massive revenge spot for Dayton, and we saw a team in Dayton that's getting healthy. We've seen that over the course of the last week or so. And we saw a team in Dayton that is really starting to play their best ball of the season right now. Last night, this Dayton team came to play. They had a raucous home court advantage that we knew going in, and it played out exactly how we told you guys it was going to play out, in the sense of St. Louis just couldn't perform at the level that they performed in that very first meeting. Understanding college basketball, guys, and sports psychology in general, you have to understand not only stylistically how teams play, not only do you have to understand how teams match up one versus the other, but you also have to understand situational spots. And you have to be able to put all of those components together. Everybody knows St. Louis is a better overall basketball team than Dayton. We saw that in the very first matchup. We've seen that over the course of the entire season. But it's not always just, lining up which team is better and that team is always going to cover against the spread. That's not how it works. Yesterday, we saw that very firsthand. This was a game last night, guys, in Dayton, where the Flyers took St. Louis to the woodshed from the moment go until the end of the matchup. This was a double-digit game nearly the entire game. Not many people saw that type of blowout coming. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I projected, a 15 to 20 point win from Dayton last night, because I didn't. But I did project Dayton to cover the number, and they did with absolute ease. Sticking on the hardwood, guys, we have a game that I absolutely love tonight. It's my game of the day in college basketball. We're going to the MEAC. We have Morgan State on the road as small underdogs against South Carolina State. Morgan State, if I'm not mistaken, guys, in the MEAC right now, they're sitting with a record of like 11-14. And they're underdogs to a South Carolina State team that right now is 7-19 on the season. These are two teams that don't shoot the ball very well from 2-point range. These are teams that don't shoot the ball very well from 3-point range. And these are teams that really don't defend all that well either, where both of these teams like to get up and down the court. I think you're going to see an ugly style of basketball tonight in this game in South Carolina State. As I mentioned, right now, South Carolina State is a small favorite at 1 point, as a 1-point favorite. These are teams that turn the ball over a lot. These are teams that get up and down the court and play quickly. So you're going to see a game tonight in South Carolina where there's going to be a good number of shots taken, a good number of shots missed, a lot of turnovers, and a fast-paced game. From a viewer's perspective, that's an ugly brand of basketball. These two teams met about a month ago in Morgan State, and Morgan State won that game by 5 points. Similarly to what we talked about just a moment ago, it's not always just about lining two teams up and deciding which team is better. On a neutral court, Morgan State would be favored. They're the better team. They have the better record. However, the way that these two teams match up, it's a little bit of a revenge spot, not nearly as much as we saw last night in Dayton, because Dayton and St. Louis are massive rivals. But what we're going to see here is, and what I alluded to yesterday, and we saw it in Dayton, is when you're taking these role players away from home, they don't shoot nearly as well on the road as they do in their backyard, quote unquote. We saw St. Louis go 17 for 28 from 3-point range at home, and then transition last night on the road going 5 for 21 as a team. The same thing similarly applies here. We're going to see a Morgan State team that doesn't shoot the ball very well in general, that is going to shoot the ball even worse tonight at home. And at the same token, we're going to see a South Carolina State team that also doesn't shoot the ball very well overall, but they're at home. We expect a little bit more of an uptick in their shooting performance, not only from 2-point range, but from 3-point range. With both teams struggling, with both teams liking to get up and down the court, with both teams turning the ball over, what I'm kind of leaning on in this projection tonight with South Carolina State is their offensive rebounding, their ability on the glass. I think that's what's going to be the difference in this game. I expect them to be a little bit more effective shooting the ball. I think they're going to do a better job of creating second and third chance opportunities. And ultimately, that's why I lean and have a play of the day on South Carolina State to win this game by more than 1 point at home. It's a 10-star play. We are super red hot in college hoops right now. We're going to keep the run rolling with South Carolina State tonight. Give me South Carolina State -1 for a 10-star play. Guys, as always, I appreciate each and every single one of you guys for watching my videos. We have a ton of content coming around the corner with conference championships and March Madness coming. Like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, and I'll be back shortly with some more winners for all of you guys.